Hey guys, what's up? And in today's video, this is the second episode of my Inara to Masters. So far, it's going pretty well. I did win this game and I won my previous game, so that means I just have 3 more placements to do and hopefully we can get high diamond. That's just the goal. But basically, this game was kind of like a steamroll. I don't want to seem like pompous or anything, but it was. And you guys will see that in the gameplay. The one thing I don't like about this game is that sometimes when you log out and you log back in, it just enables auto purchase. That's just something I feel like needs to be fixed, and just the settings should just be saved just so it's easier on everyone else, because that can ruin a game if you buy the wrong ability and your teammates are depending on it because they bought like another ability and you're supposed to have a certain one, which is understandable. I just feel like the one problem with this game is that people don't realize that there's an objective, and that's just me personally. I feel like that's just like one of the biggest problems. They play it more like a team deathmatch when you're not supposed to. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of the game, honestly, because you're given a team and an objective for a reason, and you're supposed to actually, like capture the objective and like do what you have to do. But I don't know. I guess some people just ignore that. I don't know. That's just me. One thing I want to say about Inara is that if I didn't have the healing on the Warden Stone, I think it's called, and Earthen Guard, it's like 2 cards that you can put on for her. They really help a lot, especially if your healer is healing somebody else. We had Saris on solo healing this game. She wasn't that bad. Sometimes I felt like she was just DPSing a little bit too much, but for the most part, she was actually pretty good. As usual, I'm just going to skip past a lot of my deaths because I feel like that would just be boring if I just kept all the deaths in and you just have to wait for me to respawn and, do all that stuff. Another thing in Paladins that would help is if people would use voice chat. And the reason why I don't use it is because not a lot of people, I think, know that voice chat is a thing. And in Overwatch, if you go into a competitive game, or if you go into a quick play even sometimes, like there are usually people talking, and I feel like that just helps a lot. When you have communication, you can do things and you can just combine ultimates, and basically you can win the game off that. I just gotta say, that was a pretty good juke that I did right there. That Androxus was just missing so many shots. But I really do like Inara. I feel like she is one of the best tanks now. And like I said in the other video, I did like her before, but now she's just even better than she was. And I think that's awesome because I felt like she wasn't played enough, and people would just like to pick Fernando and Barrack because of their shields and everything, and they don't really feel like the stone wall is viable. I personally do think it is viable. It's just that you have to use it at the right times. Like, for example, if there's a Ruckus who's ulting, or if there's a Victor ulting, and you just have to be mindful of those things. Like I said, I don't want the video to be too long because I just feel like it would get boring after a while, so I'm just going to skip ahead. We did end up capping the point again, and we do end up steamrolling these guys, which is nice. And I felt like right there I shouldn't have done that. I feel like if you get too cocky, that's a bad thing. So I always just have to remind myself to like tone it down a little bit. I feel like that's something everybody should remember unless they have an escape mechanism. Like Androxus, for example, he could just another step away. But I'm Inara and I can't do that, so I just have to rely on my wall and my earthen guard and my stone whenever I'm in like a sticky situation, because I can heal myself. Having life rip is pretty good too. I would say it's pretty essential if you're a tank. Another thing, depending on the team composition, is Cauterize and Wrecker, because if they have 2 healers, I would just go Cauterize personally. But if they don't and they have double or triple tank, because I've seen triple tank in competitive before, it's kind of crazy, then you should definitely go Wrecker. It does help to get red cards. I feel like a lot of people don't get them, and some people just like neglect that fact. Also, I feel like I just have to get better on my ultimates in general with Inara. I feel like I couldn't really get a good one off, so I just figured to get it off there, just because I could. But that was pretty much the game, and that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys have a good Memorial Day if you are in America, and if not, then I just hope you have a good day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and thanks for watching.